Listen, if there's one thing people get dangerously wrong about blackouts, it's this. They think it's just about losing power. Flip a breaker, light a candle, wait for the grid to come back. But real grid failures don't play out like that. Real blackouts rewind society back 100 years in minutes. And most people walk straight into the same fatal traps. And before you think, well, I'd never do that, trust me, you probably would. Because these mistakes don't feel like mistakes when you're in the dark. They feel like common sense, right up until they become the reason the situation turns deadly. Here's the first one, and it always surprises people. When the lights die, the average person immediately reaches for every battery-powered thing they own and starts using them like normal. They burn through power like the grid is coming back any second. Flashlights on full brightness, phones set to max screen glow, portable fans running non-stop. It's almost comforting. Those devices make you feel like the blackout hasn't won. But that feeling is expensive. Most people don't realize how fast a phone dies when it's constantly searching for a cell tower that isn't there. How fast a lantern drains when it's blinding instead of dimmed. And the worst part? When the real emergency kicks in. Injuries, navigation, communication. Those tools are dead. A powered device in a blackout isn't just convenient. It's your last drop of civilization. If you burn it early, you're walking into the second mistake. Venturing outside. People underestimate how disorienting darkness is. Your brain tries to fill in gaps, and it lies to you with total confidence. You think you're stepping off a curb, and your foot keeps falling. You think the noise across the street is harmless, until it isn't. In a real blackout, especially one that spans neighborhoods or cities, every building turns into a shadowed cavern. Every alley a blindfolded maze. And yet people step out, searching for cell signal or just checking what's going on. That's how sprained ankles, collisions, falls, and encounters with panicked crowds happen. Here's the part nobody likes to admit. During a blackout, humans become the hazard. Not looters, not criminals. Regular people trying to navigate blind. If you go out before you know what's happening, you're rolling dice with odds you can't see. The third mistake happens inside. People forget that without electricity, homes stop regulating themselves. They stay stuffy, humid, and full of carbon monoxide risks, especially when people start bringing in things they shouldn't. Candles near curtains, grills indoors. Little propane heaters meant for camping, but not ventilation. The mindset is always the same. It's cold. We'll be fine. We're just using it for a bit. But air doesn't magically circulate because you crack a window. And carbon monoxide doesn't warn you. Nobody ever believes they're the one who would choose comfort over caution. Yet it happens every blackout. All it takes is a little impatience and a little overconfidence. But the fourth mistake is quieter and far more dangerous, assuming the tap is safe. Clean water feels like a right. And during a blackout, it takes hours before people realize the pumps, filters, and treatment systems also rely on electricity. Water pressure drops. Backflow happens. Reservoir contamination becomes possible. The moment the water changes color or pressure, panic sets in. And when panic hits, people start making hazard number 5, food decisions that lead to illness. Thawing freezers, semi-spoiled meat. Maybe it's still okay, all because they're trying not to waste food. Food poisoning during a blackout is one of the most preventable emergencies, but it's also one of the most common, because nobody wants to throw away a fridge full of groceries they can't replace. The irony is brutal. In trying to avoid waste, people waste their health. Here's where things get even more dangerous. The sixth mistake, broadcasting that you're unprepared. In a blackout, sound travels differently. Conversations feel louder. Arguments echo. Any sign of desperation, shouting about dead batteries, arguing over food, yelling for neighbors, can draw the wrong attention. Not criminal attention, necessarily. Sometimes it's just stressed strangers, or people who didn't plan, or people who want what you have. In a long blackout, resources become signals, and signals attract trouble. The smart move is simple: stay quiet, stay calm, and look uninteresting. People target noise before they target houses. It's human nature to move toward the sound. And the seventh mistake, the deadliest of all, is also the easiest one to make: assuming someone else is handling it, assuming the government will fix the grid, assuming emergency services are fully operational, assuming the hospital still has backup power. Blackouts always start small, like an inconvenience, and grow silently. People wait. They sit in the dark, thinking, "This will be over soon." Hours pass, then a night, then a full day. By the time people realize this isn't just a technical hiccup, they've lost precious time they could have used to fill containers with water while pressure was still good, charge devices using cars, check on vulnerable neighbors, gather supplies, or simply secure their home. In a real blackout, the first hours are the golden window. Preparation done then is worth 10 times what it's worth later. But most people don't act. They underestimate the situation because the world around them still looks familiar. The house is intact. The furniture is the same. The street is the same. The only missing piece is light, and light seems like such a small thing. Until it isn't. What keeps people safe isn't gear or gadgets. It's mindset, awareness, decisions made before fear takes the wheel. So when the power goes out next time, don't think like someone waiting for the grid to bounce back. Think like someone living in the first chapter of a much bigger story. Notice the small signs. Protect your resources. Avoid the noisy instinct to rush outside. Respect fire, air, water, and the limits of your own body. And don't fall into the trap of assuming modern systems still function the way they did 10 minutes ago. Blackouts expose how thin the line is between normal life and survival, and most people learn that the hard way. But you don't have to. You don't rise to the level of your hopes. You fall to the level of your preparation. And if you remember these mistakes, really remember them, you're already ahead of 90% of people when the lights go out for real.